By a show of hands, how many people enjoy sports? What if I told you that putting a child in a sport at an early age can be beneficial for their life? I know firsthand how helpful this can be, considering I've been in a sport since I was 4 years old. There's 3 major advantages to putting a child in a sport, but I'll start with the first: exercise. According to the CDC, a child ages 6 to 17 needs 1 hour of moderate to vigorous aerobic activity, so things like running and jumping. But they also need activities that help with their bone strengthening and building their muscles about 3 days a week. So things like climbing, push-ups, squats. Running actually hits all 3 of those categories. So sports like basketball or soccer would be really good to hit their exercise goal. Sports are important in this aspect because schools don't have gym classes for students every single day. And especially when you get into high school, you don't even have to take a gym class 3 out of 4 of those years. So children will be lacking in that aspect, and it's really hard for them to hit their exercise goal if they're not doing it at school or in a sport. It also is difficult if they have recess as well, because that's still only 15 to 20 minutes, and you have to take into consideration if the weather's bad. So if it's really cold outside, snowing, if it's raining, children will be in the classroom more than likely not being able to run. Putting a child in an organized sport has more advantages than just meeting their exercise goal, though. The most important advantage of putting a child in a sport is the development of morals and character. So things like playing fair. The Novak Foundation says that putting a child in a sport helps them learn respect for authority, rules, teammates, and opponents. So a really good example of this is coach pitch for softball or baseball. That's when the coach is out on the field with their players, and when a pitcher gets into a little bit of a rut and can't seem to throw a strike, the coach will actually help the pitcher either finish that batter or take over for the rest of that inning. And it's also really helpful for them to be on the field, because if a child makes a mistake or if they violate a rule, that coach is able to assess that right away. They can go right over to their player and they can explain to the whole team why there was a violation in the rule. They get to explain to them and how they can fix it the next time. It also gives them healthy competition. So success and failure, it helps them learn how to be a good sport when they lose and how to gracefully win. And it also helps kids to stay motivated. So if they lose, they're going to want to do better the next time. And if they win, they're going to be really excited about it and they're going to want to keep doing it. It also allows them to develop problem-solving skills. So this is really important for kids ages from middle school to high school, because that's when they really are starting to understand rules and more about life. So if they're having trouble with a jump shot or with a backhand for baseball or softball, they can really focus on what can I do to get better? What can I do to help my team or help myself, which can transfer over into school. So, okay, I got a bad grade. What can I do better the next time so this doesn't happen again? So that really helps them, build self-esteem and confidence. So they can think, okay, I fixed that for my sport. I can fix that in the classroom. Like, I am good enough to be able to do that. I'm smart enough. It also helps them learn to be a teammate. So knowing their role in life. So if a kid's a point guard, they know how to interact with another teammate, how to be, know their role and stuff. So when they go into the classroom, say a group project, that way they're not doing too much or too little, because they understand how to work with others. which can then transfer over into a job, and they'll understand what their job is and how to do it sufficiently. Teammates can also become friends, which is another major positive. Allowing a child to play a sport allows them to make friends that they might not have made without that. It's also really helpful for kids who have a hard time making friends. So, sportanddev.org said that putting a child in a different environment helps them interact better, especially if they have trouble making friends. So, if you decide to put your child in an organized sport that allows different schools, that can also be really, really helpful. So, things like a travel team, that's when children from all around the area come together and form a team. That way they can talk to people they wouldn't usually. And so I actually was on a travel ball team, and I was 13 years old, and I was very shy, and my parents signed me up for a travel team, and I had to go out of my comfort zone and make friends that I usually wouldn't have made. And I'm still friends with them. But it helped me in life. It helped me 2 years ago when I went to another school and I didn't know anybody there, because I learned that skill when I was younger. So my brother also was on kind of a travel team, and it was for wrestling, and he knows kids from all different weights and sizes and schools. You can go to a tournament and he can say hi to half of them because he knows them, and he'll make friends with the other half because he's developed that skill through a sport. So all in all, sports helps kids in every aspect. It helps them become healthy physically. It also helps them build character, respect for others. It helps them have sufficient competition so they can learn how to be graceful when they lose, be a good sport. It builds their self-esteem so they don't struggle as much in school because they've learned problem-solving skills. It also helps you make friends that last you a lifetime. People that you would have never talked to originally because they're from another school, and it helps you learn how to be a better person. Sports are pretty wonderful if you're trying to develop a child who is well-rounded. Thank you.